Nomadic.
How's it going, guys? I'm Nomadic, and today we're at episode 4 of the 2000 XL video series. Like I say in every video, if this is your first time, start in episode 1 so everything makes sense. Today we're going to be talking about recording samples and a little bit of editing. We're going to talk a little bit about the Play X button, and also we're going to discuss the fine trim feature. Alright, so let's start sampling now. So in order to sample, it's not very complicated. Same deal, shift 4, the sample right there. So, it's very similar. You have your analog input or your digital input, one or the other. You could sample in stereo, mono, left, right, whatever you want. And you also want to set your time in advance too. So I'm just going to set my time to 25 seconds just to give myself enough time. And you can also set your threshold. I usually just keep it around there. So let's just record a sample so we can start making a beat. So I'm going to hit the record button and I'm going to play something. So that's good. So I'll keep that. If you want to hear it, you can just push play. And that sounds good, so I'm just going to keep it. So now, let's go back to the main screen, and let's edit this a little bit. So go Shift, Trim, which is 5. If you go through here, you can see all your samples. 2000 XL is a little bit slower than the 1000, so you can see it takes a little bit longer to load it up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to chop this up so we can make a beat out of it. So first thing you want to do is cut it so it's a loop, a nice loop you can use. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through it until I find the beginning that I want, which sounds like it's about right here. So if you want to fine edit, you can push open window. And open window gets you zooming into the start point. So you can zoom in, zoom out, whatever you want to do. And you can go around and find the exact start point. So that seems good. So now I want to adjust the end point. If you want to move your points over really quickly, if you hold shift and you move the slider, it moves things very fast. So, I want to get this towards the end. I move the beginning a little bit, so I'm going to have to go back. So, endpoint, hold shift. Now, I want to find out where the beginning of the next portion is going to start. So, I want to hear the audio past the endpoint. And in order to do that, what you got to do is you got to go to the Play X. Play X is basically a variable that will play wherever it's set to. So Play X is the button here. So it basically, you set the rule up on the top. So Play X right now is set to play the whole thing. So if you hit the button, it'll just play the whole thing. Now you can change it to zones, which we'll get to later. You could play before the start point, which we're not looking to do, or you could play it after the end, which is what I'm looking for. So if you push X or Play X, it'll play at the end. So what we want to do is find the spot here where we can loop it nicely. So let's hear how it sounds right now. So that's about right where it is. It's about right there. Right in the beginning. Right there. So let's hear it one more time. So that's good. Might want to move this over a little bit. That sounds good. So that's what I want to use. So if I want to take that and cut it out, if you push edit, you can go through, and these options are pretty similar to the 1000. Discard, loop section, new sound, insert sound, delete section, silent section, reverse section. You can time stretch pieces, but what we want to do is we want to extract that part. So in order to do that, you do insert sound, or section, new sound. So that's the option you want. So if you pick do it, you basically extracted that part. And now you just have it by itself. So if this were to loop, it would, it would flow. So that's what we want to do. All right, I hope that was clear. Next week we're going to be talking about chopping samples using the zone feature. So I'll see you next week. Stay tuned.